All right, so state your name and who you work for.
Donn, Felker, Magenic.
All right, and you are talking today about what in specific?
Testing with mocks, essentially how you would get your system under test and how you can help increase your testability by using mocks either through a greenfield project or a legacy application. And I'm going to kind of cover different methodologies either with Rhino mocks or type mock.
How hard would you say it is, and this isn't really a mocking question per se, but testing in general, if you don't have the greenfield application, you got something that's already been around for a while and it doesn't have testing into place?
It can be very difficult depending upon what you're working on. For example, if at runtime you're creating JPEG images and redrawing things, it's something that's kind of hard to recreate in a test to ensure that maybe the JPEG is supposed to look how it's supposed to look. But if it's a business application that doesn't do something like that, it can be easy. And one of the ways to do that is through a mocking framework like type mock, which allows you to mock out concrete instances. So you don't have to extract a lot of stuff out with interfaces. Even though it might be good to decouple the application in certain instances, if that's just not possible, type mock can help you a lot. And one big thing is actually working with SharePoint applications. That's kind of where type mock is going to shine the most.
Okay. When do you see the best way, or when should you use mocking? And I know that's really what a lot of what your talk is about. The question I'm getting at is sometimes, I've had this question with other people. If you're using a database, do you automatically mock it out, or is it kind of a it depends type of scenario? What's a good rule of thumb to say this is when we should really mock something out?
What's really going to be good to mock something out is if you have some business logic that you need to test. For example, if it's logic that's in your domain layer or a service layer, for example, and you need to isolate that functionality, and the functionality may be based upon a certain date or a time. So every March 3rd, if the year ends in a 3, on the 3rd week I needed to run a certain process that does something, or quarterly I need to run a process. And this is something that's critical to your business. That's the kind of thing that you're going to want to test, and you're going to have dependencies down to a database layer, to web services, etc. You're going to want to mock those things out to make sure your logic's correct. Other instances where maybe you're just seeing if a string contains the word Donn, you're probably not going to really be testing or mocking in a lot of those instances. So it kind of goes back to the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. So 20% of your input is 80% of what you're going to need to get your job done. So it's kind of finding a happy medium of what's going to be the most bang for your buck.
Okay. All right, Don, appreciate it.